Hello and welcome to this Project in a Box Planner Masterclass. This is session 12, and in this session we're going to be looking at how you can quickly build a new project plan starting from scratch. Okay, so here we've got our planner open, and it's in the default mode where we've got a starting couple of tasks here, something quite blank. And we have this new feature here called Quick Type Tasks. And the way this works is you have a text area here on the left hand side where you can quickly type things in and they'll appear mocked up, if you like, on the right hand side, and then when you do add tasks, that'll add back into your plan behind. So it's very simple. You can either just type straight into here, so we've got like task 1 like that and task 2, and every time you put a line break in, it creates a new task for you. It automatically has one scheduled after the next, because that's the most common sort of scheduling that people arrange in their plans. If you want to take that off, you can once you've got it in the main task list behind. But this is about quickly dropping in a load of content. If you want to have a sort of summary group set up, you can do that as well. So we could have top group like that, and then if we do space task 1, you see it's put that into a summary group, and then space task 2 like that, it creates a group for it. And then if we do next group like that, it goes back to another group. So it's a pretty neat, quick way of doing that. Now you can add extra information as well. So if you use a comma or the agreed separator, and we'll talk a bit more about agreed separators in a minute, but if you use, let's start off thinking of it as a comma. So if you use a comma, then you can put durations in as well. So if we do task 1, comma 2 days like that, and we do task 2, comma 5 days, then you see that's 5 days. And it just works like that. It's very simple. You can use days, weeks, months, hours, years on that extra item, and they're the two things we collect, and they're the two things that are most commonly used to drive initial tasks, and you've got a new plan quite quickly set up. In options here, you'll see that there are two sets of options. The first one is when I add this, am I going to append this to the end of my plan, add it at the bottom? Am I going to add it after the current task, so I can drop a block of content into the middle of a plan? Or am I going to replace it as a whole new set of things? So I'm going to do replace in this case. And then we have field separator. So depending on your language and your options and actually where your data is coming from, you can change the separator from comma to be other things, and I'll show you an example of that in a second, but we'll just leave it for comma at the moment. I'll do add tasks, overwrite the plan, and now I've got my things in as I wanted them to be, and I can then of course dive into here and do the colors and resourcing, and I can change of course the dependency arrangements and all those sorts of things then. But this is about getting stuff in really quickly. Now commonly, often when you're creating a plan, you'll already have some idea of what the tasks are. Somebody sent you an email, or there's a table or something like that, and so we can use that to populate as well. So if I come back to here, I'm just going to clear that bit down. I mean, I can use that to drop of course the same block in again and again if I want to, but I've got a spreadsheet here. It's quite a simple format. I've got first column is the task name, second column is the duration, and you'll see that's been set up with spaces in it so I can get my groupings correct. Now I could take that just like that and use a tab separator. Here I've concatenated it together using the concatenate function in Excel to put a comma in the middle. So if I copy that set of data like that, come into here and just do paste, you see it's brought that through with the durations. Here's my block of content, and then I can just do add tasks. This time I'm going to append it, and so we've got that at the end. So we've now got our thing we typed in plus the thing we pasted in from Excel. If this wants to not be following there, then of course, like I said, we can come in and break the dependency or make the dependency different. So we're going to make it start from that one instead, bring it back into line. But it's about, like I say, getting things in really quickly, and then you can refine them later, rather than having to use the form here to set up a task each time, which can become a bit, repetitive, especially if you've already got, like I say, the data somewhere else. So let's have another example of bringing data from somewhere else. So I've got some data here in a Word table, so I can grab that, just like that, copy. And this time I need to have a different separator, because tables like that are tab separated. And then I can paste that into there. And you'll see that's come through again, the same as it did before. And I can then, of course, add tasks, that's an append, that's on the end again. And very quickly we've built up, a reasonably substantial plan from some different sources of data that we've had in different places already. Some we've typed in, but most of it we've brought from somewhere else. And that's commonly the case. We see lots of people who've invested quite a lot of time using spreadsheets to do their planning, because they haven't really had an alternative tool. They don't want to buy Microsoft Project, which is expensive, and they didn't really know about other tools. And there is something holds them back from moving from Excel to Planner, which is that they don't really want to have to type it all back in again. Of course, we have our very sophisticated import-export, and there's another masterclass covering that. But this is about really quickly getting that data in. If you've already got it in Excel, you've got task names and durations, you can very quickly rebuild it here. Very simple and easy to do, and you just save, make the changes you want, and you're off and running. So often many people that have been planning in Excel don't do things like resourcing of their tasks anyway, so already they're at the level they would have been in Excel. If they want to go further and do resourcing and all those other useful things, cost management, etc., then they can do that. But this is about just getting that quick content over and set up. I hope you found that helpful. We think this is a really useful way of getting people on board with the tool, and being able to take benefit from all the other useful things that it does. There's plenty of other masterclasses. Like I said, this is the 12th Planner Masterclass. There's a playlist on the YouTube site allowing you to go and see all of them, and pick out some of the other really helpful topics that are here. Okay, thank you very much.